the former monument that was located at 25th and Lynch streets. But this effort is part of a project that consists of two phases. So, I want to first thank you for the opportunity to share about the World War I Memorial Monument in East St. Louis. And it is fitting, I feel, that we do so on such occasion as this, in memory of and in honor of one of our own comrades, Staff Sergeant William E. Bill Mixon III. The flyer inserted in your memorial program, the printed programs, provide a history of the original World War I monument. There's actually a picture there, and then there's a sort of hologram of the new monument that is coming to reality. I just wanted to point your attention to this flyer because the World War I monument carries the names of these St. Louisans who served their country and died in World War I. And yes, some of those heroes were African Americans. The flyer also denotes the other wars that are inscribed upon the war monument, including the Revolutionary War, through the Spanish War, and to World War I. The newly replicated World War I Memorial Monument will sit at the mouth of Jones Park at 25th and Argonne Drive. The former monument, which was dedicated on November 11, 1924, was established at 25th Street in Lynch. And the new monument will sit approximately, that former monument now sits, formerly sat at 300 yards or so to the north of where the newly replicated monument will sit. So this project was a vision of my fellow comrade Al Katzenberger. Al is with the American Legion Post in Clayton, and he's with us here in the audience. And of course, Bill Mixon was there from day one. Al brought that vision over to Bill's office. There were some of us who were present, and he sort of rolled out what he'd like to do with that monument, and we were eager to join and get on board with that. So at that point, there were other, he said it was American Legion Post 2505 legionnaires and some civilians who were passionate about veterans and historic monuments in St. Louis. And they volunteered to make possible a grant that was received to move forward with building the new World War I monument. Most of the members of this War Memorial Committee are here today. And I would like for them, in honor of Bill Mixon, to stand in place, if you would, please. If you're with the War Memorial Committee that we have formed to replicate. Thank you so much. Let's give these gentlemen and ladies a wonderful applause. And so we do this in honor of Bill, and we are going to miss him, but we know that Bill confidently handled so much for this committee, including the financial affairs, and of course, helping to convince leaders in St. Clair County and in St. Louis that this is necessary to help bolster our veterans and civilians alike, and for our future. As you may read from this poster when you get an opportunity, we know that it's rather small font from where you are, but you will see that this was graciously prepared by one of our committee members, Mr. Bob Winters, who's unable to be here. He's an architect with an architectural firm in Odomino, Winters and Hudner, an architectural firm in Clayton, Missouri. But Bob asked, what can I do to honor Bill? And he asked that we send him the information in regard to the grant that was applied for and was received. So in announcement of that, Bob, the architect, put together this wonderful poster you see here to my right and your left. And I ask that if you get some time, go over and read it, because it'll give you a lot of great information on those who worked to make this war memorial that we are going to be building a reality. The committee wants to especially thank St. Clair County Board Chairman Mark Kern and the County Director of Administration, Dr. Deborah Moore, for their enthusiastic support for the grant to make this monument possible. We also sincerely thank Director Herman Galladay and Board Chairman Willie Nancy of the East St. Louis Park District for their unfailing and consistent support of the former monument's removal, logistics, and the future reestablishment of the new monument in Jones Park. Bill Mixon worked very closely with all of these champions, and that's why I'm mentioning their names, because Bill worked with these individuals, and they are champions of our city and county, and together, all of them working together and collaborating, are going to bring this project to fruition. And even in Bill's, in the absence of Bill, we look forward to Linda, you coming over and being part of that dedication ceremony, and certainly all the Mixon family would be invited as well. There will be a future time to be announced. And I want to thank all of those who ardently share in Bill's affinity to help the causes and efforts of both deceased and surviving veterans. We shall not forget the cost they paid. The cost they paid to secure our freedoms. And for the next several days, I'd like for you to please pull out this World War I Memorial Monument flyer. Check it out on how you can be a champion for military veterans and help American Legion Post 2505 to build and maintain for posterity. See, we built it, but we have to maintain it, right? So we're going to ask you to be help us with sustaining and maintaining this magnificent monument, and in continuation of support. There will be a phase 2, which will include a wall of honor in Jones Park as well, and that will include the names of your loved ones and mine who gave so much and sacrificed to keep these United States of America, the strongest nation on this earth. Freedom isn't free, and neither are the monuments that honor the legacy of all who gave some. Bill Mixon gave all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You know, the irony is that there are a few of us that remember when African Americans were allowed to go to Jones Park, and we definitely weren't allowed to get in the swimming pools. So it is quite a statement to Bill that in his life and in his memory, he has done something that he fixed something that was broken so long before he started, but he fixed it, and his memory will live on. Let's give him applause for crossing the line. And he did something else, because no matter what he did in charity, he knew that that was the responsibility of a businessman. Businessmen, and that's the way I was raised, that the consumer is the boss, not you. And he understood that really well, and that's a value that we must pass on to other generations, the value of a businessman. We would like Reverend Calvin McNeil to please come forward now to share another legacy that will live on for many years to come.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, greetings to my Lord and Savior, to my wife and the committee members, and last but not least, Pastor Griffin, dear friend of mine, and the American Legion Post, everyone here in attendance, and most of all, I know I'm going to speak a little bit about passing on the legacy, but before I do that, I want to say thank you, Linda, for amending and giving Bill, because behind every great man, there's got to be a great woman, and we celebrate the sacrifices you made that made it possible for him to make the sacrifices that impacted and touched so many of our lives. When I got the word about Bill passing, I really was a little surprised because I'd been out of town. And finally, Linda answered the phone after several days and told me Bill's gone. And my heart sank. Oftentimes you're not sure, or you're not even aware of how close you are to people until they're gone. And she said this, and it just rang so deep in my heart. She says, Pastor, even in his dying, he gave. What a man. what a legacy. What a person. He was a servant who served, and he did it well. He embraced diversity when it wasn't popular, when it was not even politically correct. He stayed there, embraced people, looked out for people, took care of people. Integrity. Not a perfect man, but a good man. Personally, he did a lot of things for us in the community, with food, cooking, what have you. And like Pastor Granger, he helped me with so many projects. Bill would not quit until he got it done. If you had a problem and he could solve it, he would stay with it until it got done. And for that, we want to say thanks, and we want that legacy to continue. We don't exactly know how we're going to do it, but what we propose to do is to develop a grant. The committee members, we're going to stay with you, we're going to stick with you, and we want to get an ongoing grant in Bill's name for entrepreneurs so that the legacy of business continue on. Today we honor him. One last thing I'd like to say. Bill was a true humanitarian, and this place really could be full with all the lives and all the people that he impacted. And I remember just having the opportunity once. Bill called me and he says, "Reverend, can you help me with something?" And I was blown away. It was a small matter, and it's personal. But the honor of being able to help someone that's always helping you. He was a giver. He believed in people. He crossed the barrier of colors long ago, and he stayed with his community. And so you will be hearing from us, and I implore you all to participate with that. And I don't know who's going to carry on the grill and the cooking. I think it's going to be your family here. Amen. But we look forward to that. And then we'll be with you. We'll stand with you. And we want to continue this legacy that he started. Not just a good man, but a great man. And he's going to be sorely missed by the city. God bless you all.
You know, there's so many songs when you think about Bill that you would want to sing. And I know you know some of them that are very romantic. Because I know you all. You're a little romantic on the side. And I remember just fun kinds of things when we were raising money for Catherine Dunham. And we came up with this bright idea that we were going to stop people who were trying to get through and out of East St. Louis. So Bill had me and Daryl Braddox in the street before people could make that turn to go on the highway, tracking them down with barbecue to lure them over to the lot. And he thought that was very normal. And then I drove you out there with me. I said, I gotta have somebody else. But he was that aggressive. He kept cooking, and he wanted us to get out in the middle of the street, stop people from going on the highway, even if we had to go to the service station while they were putting gas in the car, to push them over. And we did it. Because he's so sincere and so pure, what can you do? You gotta go along with it, because guess what? It's all for you. It wasn't for him to pocket it. It was for him to do it to benefit us. So we tried to think of the best song. And we went through several different thoughts. But I think that the one that we chose is the very best one. And we're going to invite Linda to come back and sing it for you. And you can applaud when you hear it, because you're going to agree with us.
And so I face the final
I want to live so God can use me anytime and anyway. And that's exactly what he did. At this time, since everyone keeps taking my program, I am going to invite the committee who worked on this and turned this around. And what did we do, 2 weeks? Turned this entire program around. And there we go. And you might as well stay, Linda, as the others join us on stage. With condolences that will come from money. You want to come up as your committee comes along with you? As we show our respect, our next committee people are the ones taking the lead. And I would like to introduce a dear friend. And she greeted me when I saw her, but where did they dig you up? And I said, I don't know, but they had a good show. Okay? So here we are, standing together because, you know, that's what East St. Louisans do at the end of the day. And that's the reason we still stand. And that's the reason Bill fit in. Whatever the difference is, whatever the time, at the end of the day, we stand. The committee behind me is that standing, and it didn't take anything but one phone call and a show, and we all got together. There you go. Money did.
Oh my goodness, it broke my heart, Linda, to see my friend Bill go. But I want to say to you, thank you for letting me and the committee and all of us be a part of this program. I was reading my upper room and it said something about a friend is a gift from God. And Bill was a friend to this community of East St. Louis, and I want you to know how much we appreciate you and him. Linda and I would be in the cold and Bill would get that big old truck going in the heat. We all trying to stay warm, and all that case were out there running around trying to hide eggs. It was freezing cold, but he'd stay with us. She was in her jacket freezing. But I appreciate you also. And Bill stayed with this community. He believed it was going to come back. I still live here in this community, and I believe it can be brought back. And that's going to be my mission for the rest of my life. Thank you so much. On behalf of Linda and the Mixon family, those of you that sent condolences, we thank you. She will be acknowledging them at some later date. She wants you to know how much she appreciates the flowers, and especially Pastor Granger and my little daughter back there, his wife. I love them so. When I said we wanted to have a memorial program here, he said just the door's open to you and whatever you need. And I thank him and his pianist, and thank you very much.
Thank you. We're going to go to reflections right now, but before we do, we want to thank the people who responded so quickly, who responded so with love, and who are committed to carrying this memory on. Miriam Forrest provided the flowers, Dora Walker, the music, along with, of course, our vocalists, Jason Brown, and Charter Communications, and C. Barlow Bush. So in addition to the committee, Frank C. Smith, who had to leave, who led the championship of the American Legion, East St. Louis Veterans Memorial Post 2505. Tony Perrin, step forward. Dr. Calvin McNeil, take one step forward. Katrina C. Thomas. Laverne E. Backstrom. Laura Jones, Money Dent, and I never knew how to Money. Got it. Okay, Money. Okay. Linda Joyner, Jimmy Wright Sr., are all people who worked on the committee, and of course you, Mr. Bush, who did so much, so quickly, and so professionally. This is our committee, and at this point, I would like to turn it over to Laura Jones.
love forever, till death do we part. Love is everlasting. Bill and Linda shared love everlasting. Their love was strongly bonded, yet they did not hesitate in sharing it with the East St. Louis community. This community has been blessed with many seen and unseen deeds, all because of Bill and you, Linda. Linda, we know this is a great loss for you, but the East St. Louis community shared your sorrow and will always remember Bill for what he gave to this community. To you, we say thank you for sharing him with us. And in our thanks, we would just like to present you with some roses. Roses as an expression of our thanks, our love, and gratitude for both you and Bill. We will always cherish the memories, and we're asking that God will continue to bless you as you move forward. This comes from the Memorial Planning Committee and the East St. Louis community, from us to you. We would also like the committee to just come down and greet Linda as we continue with our presentation. To Linda, from the committee, we would like to present these pictures to you from us. To Bill Mixon IV, we would like to present these to you also from the planning committee. And to Ginger Bourne, we would like to present these. To you, we say thank you. And Charlotte, thank you for stepping up and helping us to get this pulled together. It was an experience.
Thank you. And if anybody knows Reverend Johnny Scott, you don't know how to say no. So he led this and sat back and encouraged us to do the work. So we thank you for joining us tonight for this memorial. And as we get ready for the post-everlasting presentation by the American Legion and Post 2505. We're going to ask you to stand, and I leave you with this thought. When we think of Bill, we know that his life was a blessing, as yours is. His memory is a treasure, as yours is in the making today. He is loved beyond words and missed beyond measure. Who will miss you tomorrow? And who else do you miss today? So love somebody in a very lasting way. Now return to the retiring of the colors and the post-everlasting presentation by the American Legion.
Ladies and gentlemen, the military is very rich in ceremony and traditions, as well as some of the prior military organizations and veteran service organizations. We have a lot of ceremonies that we do, but the one that we're getting to do now is the one that like doing least of all, the one I really don't like to do, is the post everlasting. We're going to ask if each of you guys will stand with us as we prepare to commit our post everlasting ceremony. And we will place our hands on our heart. If our post will be the same. Where it has pleased Almighty God, the great commander, to summon to the mortal legions our beloved comrade, and whereas we humbly bow to the will of divine providence, while ever cherishing in our hearts the memory of distinguished service to our country and outstanding contribution to the American people and comradeship. Now therefore, here resolved, the Illinois Post 2505, the American Legion, does mourn the passing of our comrade, William E. Mixon, that we commend to all the works and to God the Spirit, and be it further resolved that in token of our common grief, a copy of this resolution transferring William E. Mixon to post everlasting, the American Legion, be presented to the next of kin, Mrs. Linda Mixon, Sergeant at Arms, Colonel Senator. To present the certificate to the next of kin, please. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now have a rendition of Taft by Mr. Jason Brown. Color guard, retrieve the colors. Forward. 2, 3, forward. Color guard. Right on there, about, hey. Retire the colors. Up, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 4. Ladies and gentlemen, if you remain standing, we will now have a benediction by Pastor Kim. Thank you.
Now may the grace of our Lord and Savior, Jesus the Christ, the love of God the Father, and the sweet communion of His Holy Spirit rest, rule, and abide. In Jesus' holy name, all God's people said together, Amen. Consider yourselves dismissed.